You're making your HBO debut in your hometown.
Oh, yeah.
How does that feel?
Oh, so good. Overdue, okay? That's the real truth. I feel like it should have happened a long time ago, but I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And it was supposed to happen now, and I'm elated. I really am. I'm nervous and excited.
You're nervous?
Yeah, of course.
Because?
Well, how much pressure is it? I've never performed opera in Houston before. I mean, I did as a young artist for the Houston Ebony Opera, actually, in 1998. But for my family, it's very important that I sing here at the Houston Grand Opera. So it's a lot of pressure. For the final dress rehearsal, there's like everybody and their mama in my family is coming. I mean, full house. So I feel the pressure to really impress them, and I want to make them proud.
So wait a minute. Everybody's coming to the final dress rehearsal?
Yes, because I mean, the thing is, you know, tickets and everybody rounding up the family to get tickets for each individual show is hard.
Yeah.
But for the dress rehearsal, as we know, it's like a full performance.
How many people are coming?
About 40 something.
What?
Oh, yes. And the amazing thing about my family is they're not the kind of people that just scream for me. They scream for everybody. The cops in the show, the villains. Ah! I can't wait. I mean, they're in for a treat.
Oh my.
Uh-huh.
What was the first opera you saw, and where did you see it?
The first opera I saw, like I said, right, everything happens for a reason. The first opera I ever saw was Porgy and Bess.
No.
Right here at the Houston Grand Opera.
What year?
1995.
You
the
were a
last
teenager.
I was a teenager, and it was the last time they've actually done Porgy. So this is a huge anniversary for them, and for me to be a part of the show that they did 30 years ago, the one that changed my life, is immense. It's a huge honor.
How many performances of Porgy and Bess have you done in your career?
You know, not as many as you think, because in this business, a lot of people have always thought of me as an Italian soprano doing French repertoire, things like that. And so a lot of times companies didn't want to put me in Porgy and Bess. Like, I would go and audition for it, and they still didn't put me in. I'm like, why? Or like, you have no idea. I have this jazz background. This would be perfect for me. But it wasn't happening. So over the years, I'd say by now I've done maybe 65 performances of Porgy.
That sounds like a lot to me.
Well, compared to 186 performances of Aida, not so much, right?
Wow.
But yeah, maybe about 60.
And always playing Serena?
No, the first time I did Porgy and Bess, I was a jump-in for the soprano who had just had a baby.
Okay.
And so the first time was a concert version with the Berlin Philharmonic and Simon Rattle, and I was Bess. And I learned it in 6 days. My agents called me, they were like, do you know Porgy and Bess? I was like, not exactly. And they said, can you learn it really fast? I said, of course I can. You know what I mean? As long as I can use the score a little bit in the concert, it'll be fine. And that's what happened. So my first Porgy was Sir Willard White. I mean, one of the best you can get. And the really crazy part is that my Clara, the one who sings Summertime, was Angel Blue.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Who is Bess in this
Who is
performance?
Bess in this production? I love Angel deeply. And let me tell you, in this business with sopranos, you don't really get to work with a lot of sopranos because there are not that many operas where they have two sopranos and you're working together. But when you find one that you super duper click with, you hang on to them. So when they cast me for this, I was like, who's Bess? And they were like, we're trying to get Angel. I was like, you better get her because she's my girl. But yeah, so that was our connection from the beginning is Porgy. And I remember hearing her voice and thinking, this girl is going to be a fantastic star. I just know it. And I was right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Grew up in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Went to MacArthur High School. What's MacArthur's nickname?
The Generals, Big Mac, honey, Big Red. Oh yeah, the Generals.
You came from a musical family. You're the middle of 5 children.
I am.
So what did you do? What music did you do, sing, play?
Well, initially I was in the choir at church because my grandmother made us. All right, we
Your
were
grandfather
forced.
was a pastor.
He was the pastor of our church, New Sunrise Baptist Church, yes, and my grandmother was basically the music master of the church. And so from as far back as I can remember, maybe about 3 years old, I was up singing in church with my sisters and my aunt, who's very close to my age, and my cousin, who was my age at the time. So we were the Moore singers. And we would go to different churches around in Houston and sort of guest for them and go and sing. And that was my early performing experience from, I guess, maybe about 5 years old to 15.
It's in your blood.
Oh, yeah, in my blood.
But you were in the marching band?
I was in the marching band.
You played what instrument?
I played bass drum, I played keyboard percussion, like xylophone and things like that in the pit. But not only marching band. I did marching band, symphonic band, concert band, jazz band as a jazz singer, concert choir, theater choir, whatever you can think of that was music, I was in it.
Turning point in your life, you go to North Texas University and a teacher tells you your voice sounds suited for opera.
Yes.
And what did you think?
Well, I went to University of North Texas as a jazz major, as a vocal jazz major, and they required us all to take what we considered legit voice lessons, which I had never had, okay? So I go in with the teacher I was assigned, and he starts warming me up, and he said, "You're an opera singer. I think you really are meant for opera." And I said, "Nah, opera's not for me." Because flashback, the first piece of an opera I ever saw was when I was 13 years old on PBS. I'm sitting at home flipping through the channels and I see a clown dressed up in makeup screaming, and then he stabs somebody, stabs a girl. And I'm like, what's going on? And then someone seemingly runs from the audience and he stabs him, right? I'm like, what is going on? This is craziness. So I changed the channel. So I'm there at University of North Texas. He says, "You're an opera singer. Try joining the opera chorus." He said, "You're already familiar with classical music," which I had done in band and in choir. I was a first chair, 4-year all-state choir member for TMEA, you know?
Yes.
So I was definitely familiar with classical music. And I said, okay, I'll give it a try. But all I could think about was the clown killing people and all this stuff. So I walk into chorus rehearsal. Guess what opera it was? I Pagliacci. Exactly that piece of an opera that I saw when I was with the clown.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
Completely wild. So I get in this chorus, and I was basically Italian villager number 6. You know, I kind of made up my own Italian villager. But I loved it so much. I loved the fact that I could transform and be someone else. Because
So you could act and sing.
yes, so you could act and sing. But the biggest thing for me about it, because I was always great with singing and emoting when I sang, but the beauty is that you get to become something else. I couldn't believe that I was transported to Italy and I was this just young Italian villager watching the Commedia dell'arte happen right in front of me. I felt a new sense of life, especially being in a family with 5 kids that are huge personalities. I was overlooked a lot and I was kind of shy, honestly, within my family. But being in the opera, I knew that I could use it as an emotional outlet like I'd never done before.
When did it dawn on you that you would do this professionally?
I guess I knew I would be a professional singer probably the year after, 1998. I was with my chosen voice teacher, Dr. Patty Johnstone. She was fantastic and she believed in me. She believed that I could be on the top of the game. She believed that I could be a star in it. But for me, I gotta say, being a star was never in the books, right?
Why?
Maybe it's because I was always number 3 in my family, that I always felt like, oh, as long as I get the opportunity to do it at all, I'm grateful. So I always had this sort of humble way of going into stardom anyway, right? When it came down to it, I chose to do opera over jazz, which most people thought I excelled at over opera. I chose opera because of the emotional outlet, because I wanted to be a Venetian. I wanted to be an Ethiopian princess. I wanted to be all of these different characters. I felt like I could show more of who I am by becoming everyone else, I guess.
And have you loved that over these years?
I have loved it. I have always used it to my advantage. When I have a time in my life when I'm struggling with X, Y, or Z, I rely on music to sort of channel the pain, channel the fear, channel in the excitement. You know, I use it as my vessel, as my tool, as a balm, really. You know, I always have, and I feel like as long as I can, God willing, always will.
Talk about this role you play, Serena. So who is Serena in this
Serena in Catfish Row in Porgy and Bess is basically the church lady. She's the holy one. She's the one to keep everybody in line. And as we know, as Southerners, she's also the first to judge. It's rough being Serena, because the thing is, I mean, I want to believe that deep down that she's this sweet, wholesome character, but she's very representative of the way church people can be, the way religious people can be, where they hold everything against you, don't always, take things with a grain of salt, so she can be rough, but she also wants to heal people and she wants to help them. Even in this opera, when Bess gets sick, she's the one that prays over her. It's her. And I think it's a big moment for a character like hers, and a big moment for the audience to see too, because I dealt with growing up people in church that were definitely wagging their finger and judging me and
too.
Oh yeah, come on, haven't we all, right? But I like that you see a change in a person like this, where deep down, as much as they want to judge you, they want you to be better, and I believe that Serena is that kind of person in essence.
Your song in this is
My Man's Gone Now. Woo, baby.
A lot of people can relate.
Yes, it happens at the beginning of the opera. She loses her man in a fight, and she sings about how lonely it is once you've lost your partner, and how basically demons are in your head telling you you're old, you'll never get ahead, you're gonna be alone forever. And she actually voices this to the community, which I find fascinating, because when you think about a religious woman and a church woman, they keep their cards close to their chests as far as what happens to them personally, because they want to be free to judge everybody else. But what happens here is this woman has judged Bess in the first scene, and then suddenly her world is kind of torn apart, and she shows it to everyone. She's completely vulnerable. It's kind of shocking. It shocks the audience. It shocks me even to sing it. That somebody would just tell the whole community, I'm hurting. And the wild thing about it is, after she's hurting, Bess is the one that tries to lift her up. She's like, come on, we're headed to the promised land. You'll be all right, Serena. Oh my God, what a beautiful opera. I want to cry just talking about it. But I love the role of Serena, and that aria is just banging, let me tell you.
So, speaking of loss, you shared that you lost your mother about a year ago.
I did. She died last summer, actually.
But you shared something interesting. Your mother saw you at Carnegie Hall perform.
She did.
She had a surprising reaction. What did she tell you?
Yes. Okay. So my mother hated traveling. She was very averse to airplanes, just didn't want to go anywhere. But my family coaxed her into coming to New York City to see me do a recital at Carnegie Hall. So the recital's over. I'm hoping they're proud. I go up to my mama. I'm like, what do you think? She said, yeah. One day you're gonna sing at the Wortham Theater though for Houston Grand Opera, right? Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. Yeah, it's gonna happen. One day you're gonna make it.
That was a bigger deal to her.
Of course, because for her, singing in Carnegie Hall, singing anywhere else in the world is great, but it's not directly for the family. And for her, me singing here at home at Houston Grand Opera means that I'm singing here for my roots, for my background, for my people. And so it was important to her. And even though she's not here, I know she's protecting me right now, and she's there for me right now. And that's the way it was supposed to be. Yeah.
You don't cry, I won't cry.
Oh my goodness. You don't want me to cry. We're gonna have Makeup City running down Tammy Faye Baker situation on our hands. Y'all don't want that, trust me.
Latonia Moore, I want to say, welcome home.
Thank you so much. Thank you.